Greetings, everybody. This is Prince Obioha Ezagun Ndi-GBO with the second episode of the GBOriginal Griot, the web series presented by GBOriginal creators and dedicated to discussing and delving into solutions, presenting solutions to problems and issues that affect us as individuals, as families, as communities, and as nations. I'm your host, and I'm seated here with my friend and colleague, Mr. Victor Onochie, high performance life coach and life strategist.
It's nice being here again.
Absolutely, my brother. And we've got another hot topic for y'all today. We're going to be talking about the abundance mindset versus the scarcity mindset.
Okay.
Yeah, and this I feel is a great follow-up to our first discussion earlier last week about leadership.
Okay.
And today we're going to be addressing a few questions. First of all, what is an abundance mindset? What's a scarcity mindset? How do they manifest? What are their manifestations? How did the scarcity mindset become prevalent, as it were, in the Nigerian context, in Africa, and the world, as a matter of fact? And lastly, how can we actually go about cultivating an abundance mindset? These are the questions we're going to be addressing in our discussion today. So
Interesting.
take up a seat, get a notepad and a pen if you can, and jot some treasure points that we're going to be dropping today.
I have mine.
Yeah, and
Okay.
if it's your first time to the channel, I welcome you and invite you to subscribe so that whenever we release new content like this, you'll be notified right away. So, Victor.
Okay. Let's start.
An abundance mindset. What is your take on that?
Yeah. So, abundance mindset is it's a paradigm. It's a way of seeing things. Basically, it's believing that there is more for everyone. It's that mindset of feeling that there is a whole lot to go around,
Right.
and even more. And just like you said at the start of this video, you said it's like from the last video, this is kind of like even trying to delve deeper, because when we talk about the role of the leader as being someone who has a vision, without an abundance mindset, he cannot imagine something better.
Right.
It is the abundance mindset that makes the leader envision a better tomorrow and even more for everyone. That makes him want to, for you to want to take people along with you, to inspire people to follow you on the journey. It's to sell an abundance mindset.
Correct.
And that's why people will follow you. So let me put it that way. That's what the abundance mindset is, and it affects everything: family, society, organizations, and all.
Absolutely. The abundance, it's great the way you linked it to leadership, because a leader sells a vision.
Definitely.
He not just sells a vision, but he sows the seeds of that vision in the hearts and minds of everyone who comes together to actually invest their time and their resources to actualizing that vision.
Yeah.
So, from my perspective, an abundance mindset is an optimistic awareness of the fact that at any given point in time, we are an encapsulation of immense potential for value creation and problem solving.
I love that. Immense potential.
Yeah. And furthermore, it's a realization that all around us, nature provides an abundance for the sustenance of not just us, but every other life form there is. And with an abundance mindset, we also realize that within every problem or challenge that we're confronted with, the solution is right there in that problem or challenge.
Yeah, agreed.
An abundance mindset is firmly rooted in the reality that we are infinitely limitless. Our potential is limitless, both as individuals, and more so when we combine our forces to create exponential results that come from that synergy.
Agreed.
You know,
Agreed.
this is what an abundance mindset is to me.
Yeah.
And to cap it all, the abundance mindset is the mother of love,
Yeah.
of cooperation,
Agreed.
and community.
Agreed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I would have started giving you a round of applause. Like you spelled it out impeccably clear, and that's really what it is. I mean, the nature, by way of its own existence,
Yeah.
The challenge is we don't imagine enough.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
We're constantly running with the little. But nature by itself gives us that opportunity to create even a whole lot more.
Yes.
To create a whole lot more, and to be able to nurture it. You know, it's one thing to probably use trees, but it's also another thing to plant seeds.
Yeah.
You know, so the abundance mindset is not just taking; it's also giving.
Very important. Very
not just
important
taking, it's also
because
giving.
you know, people usually ask, "What's in it for me?"
What's in it for me?
You know, that's a taker or scarcity mindset, because if you got that abundance mindset, then you're operating from a place of what can I give? What value can I bring to the table? You know?
Yeah. So, but the thing about the abundance and the scarcity, in my opinion, is we also have to understand that while we give and we expect another to bring in,
Right.
we're looking at a synergy that creates a win-win for both
That's
parties.
right. That's right.
Unfortunately, some people look at it from a place of a matter, kind of like, okay, I'll give and I expect nothing in return. That over time brings about resentment.
Precisely.
Because I mean, each and every one of us are capable of whatever we want.
Sure.
The thing is, if I come to George and I say, George, I'm thinking of this.
Yep.
In my mind, where the challenge comes is if I look at how can I get from George and I don't consider what George can get from
you.
from the arrangement.
arrangement,
Yes.
yeah.
So the arrangement now has to be a win-win in the sense that if I'm bringing something to the table, in as much as I want something from this thing, for us to create something and I want something,
Yeah.
I am more considering also what is the need for George too, in the sense that it has to benefit the parties.
Yes.
And it's because it's only if I have an abundance mindset that I can consider that.
Consider is the key word.
That's
there.
the word, you know.
Yeah.
And also, it's if you also have the abundance mindset, you will consider it. Because if I don't do that, over time, if it seems to be just you getting,
benefiting from the.
I'll start having resentment.
Yeah.
So these are certain things I feel that as a people, you know, as individuals, we learn from that. There is a philosophy of a win-win, especially when it comes to interpersonal relationships,
Correct.
doing things together. I mean, you go to an organization, a company. There is a reason why there is what they call shares. The company is broken into bits. You know, there's the owner who has the whole share. They start from 100.
Yeah.
And he starts saying, okay, based on what you're bringing in, I'm giving you
this.
know. But it has to be from it. If they don't agree, if for instance I and you want to do something and we don't realistically agree on what we are sharing it on, it's a problem. We have to know that, okay, George is bringing this much into this, and so because he's bringing this much into this, he has to probably have this amount
much.
and he has to be okay with it. I have to be okay with it,
Right.
by understanding what each other. So it's that abundance, knowing that if we come together, we're going to create a whole lot more.
Right.
That will be enough for us, and even a whole lot of other people coming in on board.
Yeah.
But without that, nothing.
Things don't go far.
Yeah.
The same thing applies in marriage. I mean,
Oh.
especially in marriage. There's got to be
that's
that mutual understanding of what each party, the man and the woman, are bringing to the circle.
exactly.
Where that understanding is not clearly established from the get-go, and not just established at the get-go, but also reinforced through
By way of living.
daily communication.
Yes.
And the lifestyle. Things, you lose the vision.
You
along
lose,
the
yeah.
way. And when you lose the vision, it's disintegration.
Exactly.
You know?
I mean, if a man, marriage has evolved over time.
Yeah.
But more importantly, I believe that marriage is a platform that should allow for each person's evolution.
Correct.
So if you're coming together with somebody, I mean, it's somebody you like so much that you want the best for that person. And it's the same thing both ways.
Both ways, yes.
Now, like marriage, the problem is sometimes we look at marriage as a 5-year journey. Our mind cannot conceptualize that long-term thing.
Period.
But it's what marriage helps is, George, you running on your own. It can be, there are sometimes you're going to be down.
Yeah.
And you might not be able to run
Press
in
forward.
full capacity.
Yes.
Marriage is also a synergy that takes away the me and brings forward the we.
The we.
So that we is the institution which we are going to always keep on promoting. And that means that there's a possibility in our evolution that you could be running an enterprise that scales. Now, your wife could also have something else that even scales beyond you.
Yeah.
But it's about us. It's about we. The man. It's not a competition.
Thank you.
Because this is where the problem is.
Yeah.
And this has made even a whole lot, because of that mindset that, okay, the man has to always
Be the provider.
yeah, and this whole thing, it all depends. Yes, I know. But you can see it in our everyday society where men can suppress the evolution of their wives
Very, very
because of the
unfortunate.
fear of the possibility of them
They're scaling beyond.
and
what he
so
achieves.
they won't be able to, they won't answer to you anymore. So this is a paradigm of marriage which some people have. And I say your paradigm affects everything about your marriage.
Correct.
Even the person you pick.
Yeah.
Because you always pick somebody who you want somebody to always be under you and all. But leadership is not really about somebody under
Having
you.
followers.
No. It's teamwork.
Yes.
It's teamwork. And you're on a long journey. I mean, there will be a time where, okay, your wife would probably, based on your values and all, your wife might need to step out from what she's doing to work on something else, maybe to even go to school or whatever the case may be.
Right.
You have to be able to support that.
Correct.
It could be that at some point in trying to pursue something, you probably have to step out a bit from whatever and all. Your wife is there to support that. It's not a forever thing.
Yeah.
It can happen a year, 2. The other person gets back on his feet, moves. So it's like we're pulling each other.
Pulling each. Wow.
But the problem, it's
I
a
love
big
that.
problem when the older society, a guy just think that, oh, he is the. And when people try to hammer that thing, I see, even from the old days. Because permit me to even just go to the biblical passage of the Proverbs 31.
Okay.
It never talked about a woman just
Being there.
stifle, So what am I saying? That marriage has to have that abundant mindset, knowing it's a journey of we.
Yes.
We support each other to help each other be the best we can be. It's important that is the ideal, because in that, nobody is feeling threatened by what the other person is going to be or is going to do or whatever.
Correct.
It's a teamwork, and
We're working. We're upgrading.
We're upgrading, and to upgrade, it's not easy. If not, we're going to remain at the same place.
Yeah.
If the man has to always be, on the, it could be that way. Mm-hmm. It could be that the man is always. Mm-hmm. That could be the case. Mm-hmm. But what am I saying? I'm saying that it's okay for two people to understand that they can support one person to
even be bigger than they.
I mean, that's
at the end of the day. With that understanding that it's a we project.
It's a we project.
When you understand that, when each partner has it at the back of their minds, no matter the difference in incomes or in the scale of our respective projects, we don't feel intimidated. It's just like I was giving an illustration earlier, before we started recording about not being mindful of your neighbor's bank balance. This is a big problem.
You said so. We talked about that.
I mean, because if you know what your niche is, if you know what your area of specialization is, the industry you choose to work in, the craft you're focusing and developing or whatever. Once you have your mindset on that and you know the level you want to take it to, if you set up a garbage disposal company and you're able to grow it and scale it so much so that it even goes beyond the borders of the country and is worth $1 billion, all great and good. If your wife perhaps is in the fashion business and she scales hers and it goes worldwide and is worth $10 billion, it shouldn't be an issue because you're doing what you love.
Yeah, what you
and
love.
She's doing what she loves. And with that we mindset, you both are helping each other reach your respective full potential, and you grow together as a unit. That's really where the abundance mindset needs to be inculcated. We need to really cultivate that understanding. Stop feeling threatened by, the next person's bank balance. It doesn't make any sense. After all, at the end of the day, if we're each helping each other out, it's to our mutual glory, so to speak.
That's it. There's nobody at the end of the day.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we all leave all these things behind.
Yeah.
So it's still watching that too. I always say that nature is apportioning you responsibility with whatever you have.
Correct.
And how you use it is important. And while we're talking, I gave an example just of what you're saying.
Yeah.
What you're seeing with a lady I like and respect so much, the founder and the owner of Spanx.
Yeah.
Sarah Bakley and her husband Jesse. Sarah is a billionaire. I don't think Jesse is a billionaire.
Right.
But the family
remains tight.
Is tight. They're having fun. I know he loves the whole. His passion is all in all this exercising, coaching people. So he runs marathon, and you go to Sarah's Instagram feed and you see her cheering him on, being with him on.
Despite that disparity in their income bracket.
Because it's
irrelevant.
The thing is, in the family, they understand the projects they want to pursue. Like, okay, the children need to go to school. They sit down and decide, where do the children need to go to school? Oh, we want to have the house. Where do we want to? They sit down and they're always thinking of we.
Right.
Which is, you bring your perspective, I bring my perspective. What can we have a synergy with these two perspectives to have even a third alternative, something even better than we both thought of? Or sometimes I bring my perspective and you bring yours. And I'm able to say, I think we should go with yours.
Right.
So it's a thing of knowing that we are a team.
Yes.
It's not a competition of some one person having the say or someone who is making more money.
Yeah.
This is a front. This family is a front that we are going to push and evolve and help grow to the best it can be.
Right.
With that mindset, you have to have an abundance mindset to be able to do that. So, which is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And with that mindset, you guys can achieve anything. You can achieve a whole lot. You support each other. Life is hard. That's one of the things I want us to understand. Life is hard because when you want to take everything on your head,
on your own,
I mean,
You can only go so far.
you cannot, because okay, think of from Jeff Bezos, from Bill Gates, from Warren Buffett. I mean, they did it with people.
Correct.
You can't achieve anything important alone. Nobody has done it.
We have an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone.
Yeah.
If you want to go far, go
with
together.
people. Yeah, it is. Because, sorry, think of any great person in the past. They always had
People around.
people around them, a team. Do you understand? And without an abundance mindset, that thought is just dead before it's even thought about. It's dead.
That's right.
You can't even think about it without an abundance mindset.
That's right.
The person who has that deep scarcity mindset fails to realize that he has weaknesses that another person can complement. So he wants to do everything alone
On his own.
and is stretched, high blood pressure and a whole lot of things. So it's a very important discussion and thing to really look at.
Yeah. So on that note, you just mentioned the scarcity mindset. What is your, grasp of that expression, that term, the scarcity mindset?
So the scarcity mindset, basically, from what we're saying, is the mindset of feeling that there is not enough to go around, so I have to hold on to what is available for me.
Yeah.
If I give a little, it will reduce what I have, and at the end of the day, I will be left with none. So that's really the whole scarcity mindset. And but as we discuss further,
you're absolutely right about that. A scarcity mindset, I look at it as a self-annihilistic ignorance. Seriously speaking. I see a scarcity mindset as a self-annihilistic ignorance of one's boundless potential and the opportunities for wholesome growth, which abound all around us.
This is words of wisdom. The oracle has spoken. I like this.
And this mindset, the thing about it is rooted in fear. The scarcity mindset is rooted in fear.
That's it.
And what is fear? False expectations appearing real. The scarcity mindset is the mother of all competitive, exploitative, parasitic, and petty behavioral tendencies.
Very unhealthy things.
Yeah. William Lamb Phelps, right? He said, we look backwards too much. And we look forwards too much. And thus, we miss the passing moment. The fear of life is the favorite disease of our time. Wow.
The fear of life.
Too many people let themselves be either crippled by their past guilt or trauma, or
fear of the future.
Or they live in fear of tomorrow. Thus, their present happiness is poisoned by non-existent things.
And of which it is what you do with the present that yields the future. So when you don't use the present,
then
you face the inevitable.
Yeah. I mean, for instance, many are afraid of old age, right?
Yeah.
Forgetting that even the loss of bodily vigor presents an added opportunity. What is that opportunity? It's in the form of physical weakness ministering to further development of the mind and spirit. Why do I say that? Let me explain. The whole idea behind meditation, right, is to train ourselves to quiet our bodily functions long enough so that we can hear our chi speak to us.
Yeah.
Right? And when we hear our chi speak to us, it yields to us creative ideas or solutions to problems that we're faced with. This inspiration, or as I like to call it, inner generated upwardly spiraling fountain of information, you know. It remains beyond our reach when we're fully engaged in the noise of being busy doing nothing.
Nothing. I agree.
You know, someone once told a story of a farmer from Wisconsin, that lost the use of his hands and legs due to polio, and everyone wondered, how is he going to fend for his family? You know, take care of his farm. You know, what would become of them? And most people, when faced with that kind of disability, would either allow themselves to just deteriorate from depression or self-pity and all whatnot, you know, while others would have just sold the farm off, you know, and then use the money until the slow passage of time reduces them to abject poverty.
Okay.
And we see that too often.
Yeah, I agree.
But guess what this guy did? Even though he was bedridden, you know, he dug in to his most valuable resource, his mind. And by doing that, he was able to realize that he already had everything he needed.
Yeah.
And with his directive and with the inspiration that he got, taking stock of everything that he literally had, the farm and its potential, he was able to transform that humble farm into the largest meat processing and packing company in the US at the time. His family never lacked for anything, and he was bedridden. You know, that's
Power of the mind.
It's the power of the mind. You know, not allowing ourselves to be crippled by what we're seeing around us.
I agree.
You know, this is really key.
Yeah. It's it's almost similar to the story of, I think, is it Stephen Hawking's, you know, the scientist who, you know, I could imagine where you start realizing you have some kind of illness where you can't, your body is gradually degenerating. You can't walk. You can't. But even when he couldn't speak, it's from the video I watched, his mind became even more powerful. It's like he could go to space and hear a whole lot, and that took his work even to another level.
Yes.
So it's perspective. Sometimes, George, I mean, if somebody doesn't hear this, he probably would just be running with all he knows. And that's why I say it's important for self-education, self-development, the constant seeking to evolve yourself. There's this author, Isaac Asimov, where he said he believes that self-education is fundamentally the only real education out there. Because at the end of the day, whether you go to school, if you don't put to learn what you want to learn, no matter what I say to you, is what you take from it that you really want, which is about self-education. You choose. When we understand that the choice is with us, I mean, it empowers us to keep on learning, because all the greats, they learn till they die.
It's a never-ending process.
Know? So I think so that's fine.
For real. Just like you said, still on the subject of the scarcity mindset.
Yeah.
You know, when we look around, we come to realize something. To a thoughtless person, right? Each day looks like a mean and intimidating blank sheet of paper. They fail to see that all the good and great and happy actions, right, are written upon those same daily blank sheets of paper by people who are brave enough.
I like that.
To put pen to paper.
Agreed.
Though they're faced with similar or even in some cases more challenging situations. For example, like the man who's physically incapacitated.
Exactly.
You know, so you look around in our communities today, you hear of youngsters who are killing their peers because They seem to be more progressive or successful. You know, people hiring kidnappers to kidnap their colleagues because they happen to be having more money than them. You know, and then of course there's the elephant in the room. Are politicians and public office holders who shamelessly embezzle, you know, the people's money that's meant for empowering programs that are meant to facilitate and empower the people to better their lives. And you sidetrack such money and use it for all manner of selfish things. These are manifestations of the scarcity mindset we're talking about.
Agreed. So basically, there's work to be done to evolve that scarcity mindset.
Yeah.
There's work to be done, and except that work is done, it's going to be, you know, that constant struggle, you know, and all that. Like we were discussing earlier. First of all, we have to believe that we are capable of living. That's the idea of self-efficacy.
Correct.
I have to believe that I am capable to live. I am not scared to live. But before I go there, I would say that, you know, Abraham Maslow talked about the hierarchy of needs. Now, where an environment has a whole lot of people struggling for the very basic need, it's a problem.
Yes.
Because it's what can I get to survive?
Yes.
Survive is the mindset. That's why society is a major job. It's a big deal. Because you want to be able to move as much people up
the ladder.
Yeah. Because where people start thinking of even self-actualization, some level of, you're not really worried about what you will eat tomorrow as such. You know, I watched a video, I think of Jeff Bezos, and they asked him, what gave you that courage to take the kind of risk you took, the audacity? And he said he would sum it up in one word: love. That he grew up in a family that supported him. Yeah, somebody would say he was privileged. I agree. In the sense that the environment he was.
Right.
Yes. And he said that knowing that he could take any risk and his family would still support him, even if he failed, that knowing alone gave him the courage to keep going forward. So I'm tying it also back to the fact that when a society has a whole lot of people struggling to even eat, and that's why, like rightly said in the other video where you talked about government role in creating an enabling environment, because society is supposed to take a journey. The problem is when we look back and look at where we are, have we made any progress? Before the video, you were giving me, you were discussing about Dubai, for instance. You understand? For that, it takes a lot. Look at Singapore. The mass poverty has to go up, and that's why leadership has a huge responsibility in creating that enable. You have to, and that's why there has to be that intellectual and that know-how, understanding economics, finance, strategy, and all that. Because you need to know what you need to be doing to empower more people to come up. Because, George, if you are empowered, if you're able to climb up the ladder, there are people under you that are also going to benefit.
Sure.
If you climb up, you employ more people, they come up. So it's a ripple effect.
That's right.
But where that is not, it's fundamentally challenging for an environment. If the people at the top are just like you said, you know, you talked about politicians just taking what they want and all.
What they want.
That's the idea of the scarcity mindset.
Yes.
And I always tell people, you talked about life, and all. I tell people, see, we need to know that death is inevitable.
Oh, yeah.
The reason why you can live a full life is embracing your death.
Yes.
Contemplating your death.
Seeing every day as the last day.
That's the possibility. Because it's like every living being. It's like we're walking on a journey and there's a cliff. You don't even know where you get to the cliff and you fall off. If we understand that we all are going to die one day, and we start there and ask ourselves, if we are given the opportunity to even live to a ripe old age, what would we want to have represented having lived
that long?
Because at the end of the day, you realize that the goal is stewardship. It's like we have a role to pull society forward. And it doesn't take many people. I mean, look at the Bill Gates that created Microsoft. I'm using Windows, for instance. Steve Jobs, Amazon. It doesn't take. It just takes somebody to take responsibility of a problem.
Correct.
Must own the problem. Like, this problem, I want to solve this problem.
Yes. You got to be invested in it.
You have to be invested. And at that point, nature is saying, okay, let's allocate something to this guy. He wants to solve a problem. And then you start doing that. The more you do that, the more your society will enjoy from that. Your environment will enjoy. Now we're even in a global society. So that's why even Stephen Covey said, to think of measuring yourself against competitors or even excellence. It doesn't fly anymore now we're in a global society.
That's a limited.
We have to measure ourselves against world class. That means because we are so connected, we have to look at the world from a place of what's the best available.
Correct.
Because it's only there that's leadership now, where we can challenge what can be beyond,
that level. Precisely.
That's the only way we can evolve. But if we keep on feeling so small,
limiting,
so limited and all.
It's just like the expression, shoot for the stars.
Yeah.
Even if you miss, you'll land on the moon.
Very key.
But once you set your standards or your targets so low, I mean, come on. It's funny that I should even bring this up. I'll take, for instance, when I was growing up, when I was much younger. I still remember my family and I were in Jamaica at the time. I was in primary 3, to be precise. And the very first love letter I ever wrote, I wrote it to a girl who is in primary 5. That's 2 classes ahead of me.
Wow.
You
shoot for the sky.
Yeah. I mean, just imagine that. She was, some would say way above my level and all that. But that's how high I was looking. And at the end of the day, even though you might not get that, but
you got somebody next.
Got somebody who was high enough.
Okay.
So that's how we should approach life for real. Shoot, like Grant Cardone says, if your target is not insane enough, if it's not
troubling
crazy
you
enough, if it's not so
if the thought of it is not troubling,
that the mere thought of it gets you all worked up, then you haven't started.
Exactly.
We've got to really set our targets high, because I mean, if you aim to be a trillionaire and you end up as a billionaire, that's not a bad deal.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. And I would say, somebody might look at it and say, it's just all this motivational mumbo jumbo, and okay, look at the guy, he even was still in Jamaica and all. I'm saying, where you are, are you doing the best you can?
You can.
That's the issue. Because even people beyond where we are, there are people who are not doing even the best
that they can.
That's where the issue is.
Yes.
That we all are given an amount of time every blessed day. How are we allocating it? And that's why I've said that there is a long term and the short term.
Yes.
You need to survive. You need to do what you need to do right now
Correct.
Could be that you're in a job and all. But there's a problem if after 5 years, 10 years, you are in that treadmill.
Yeah.
You're still
The
running.
hamster wheel.
Yes. The question is that where you feel that your strengths are being used, maximized? If it's cool, stay there. But if you know that there is something inside wanting to do more, then you, just like you said, you need to bring pen and paper and start giving it time. And I say, see, the problem is we want to manifest in one night. That's a problem. Things are done with time. It's the law of the farm. When you don't plant corn and wake up tomorrow and go and start looking for the... You know that
it's a process.
It's a process. So it's the same way where you look at your life and see, 10 years ago, where was I? 5 years ago, where was I? If I did certain things different, would I be in a different place? That's first of all understanding your role in your life. To know that your actions have brought you where you are.
Where you are. Taking responsibility.
Because except you can do that, you can't change the future.
Yes.
So if you have now understood that, the next thing is to say, okay, this is where I am. This is what I need to be doing. At least to be seen to. Some people even just jump. But I'm saying, even if you don't, because the challenge is always the fact that you are not doing anything.
Correct.
That's the problem.
Correct.
That very fact you are not doing anything is a scarcity mindset. You know, I want us to really understand this scarcity. The very fact that you don't have a plan on how to evolve yourself. And understanding that the evolution of who you are is in the creation of value for others. Except if you don't have that plan, you already have the scarcity mindset, because all you're trying to do is to survive. That's all you are trying to do. And the question is it a choice you have taken to come to this world and survive? Is that a choice? Okay, fine. You know, there's the parable of the talents. So some were given and one decided to hide. If that's a choice you have taken
to hide.
But you see, the funny thing about life is life will always show you people who didn't have as much as you had.
You did.
But took some risks.
That's right.
Took steps. It's nature just trying to... It's
wake
us up. Like, dude.
Yes. You're
wasting. You're wasting. And it's because you have a paradigm that you even feel you're not enough. That's the big one. You feel you're not enough. You shouldn't even venture out there. And most times, you try to venture out, and most times it's family that tell you, hey, dude. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest one.
The gatekeeper.
Most times, it's mostly families that will tell you, hey.
You're going way out there.
Yeah. Come back. Please. Be reasonable. Be realistic. Be realistic. But the world we enjoy today was created by people that were not
reasonable people.
So, but then if you choose that you are realistic, that's you, then be okay with it. Don't start getting envious when the guy who is sowing the seed, tending the farm, creates something great. Be okay with it.
Be okay with what you... Because you made that choice.
You made a choice. Every day we make choices.
Yes.
And I was telling you that when it comes to... When something happens to somebody around us, for instance, something happens to your wife, something good, or something happens to your friend, something good, he got a promotion or his business scaled or something. A scarcity mindset will channel the energy towards envy. Jealousy. Why? It's because of that feeling stuck. Like, oh, he's going and leaving me. Like, my own life is just this.
It's just this.
This is just... But an abundance mindset will channel the emotion to a place of inspiration. Appreciation. If he could go up, that means I have an opportunity to go up.
That's right.
I mean, if you're doing well, George, if you are evolving, I'm happy. If I have an abundance mindset, I'm happy because it shows that I too can go up.
Correct.
It's just a matter of time.
I mean, look, gratitude. appreciation
Yeah.
is another form of gratitude.
Yes.
And like I would say, gratitude is the way to higher latitudes.
That's it. I think that spoke very well. That spoke very well.
I mean, on this matter, how do you cultivate an abundance mindset becomes the question.
Yeah.
And Henry David Thoreau, he
Now
said,
you call on the great dude.
he said, many an object are not seen though they come within the range of our visual ray, right? Because they do not fall within the range of our intellectual ray.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
In other words, many things exist in our world that we don't actually see because we're not looking for them.
You can't find what you are not looking for.
Yeah, or we've not made ourselves capable of looking for them.
I like that. Made ourselves.
Yeah. The world we see is only the world we look for. We do not see things as they are. We see them as we are.
I like that.
That's something very important that
very
we always
important.
hold in the back of our minds.
That's why people have arguments.
Yes.
They expect people to see things how they see things.
If you wrote the number 9 on this table right now, from your position, it would
seeing
appear as
9.
number 6 or number 9.
And you'll be seeing
from
it.
my position, that's a 6 to me.
Okay.
But it's the same figure
Yeah.
drawn on the table.
Yeah.
You know,
Different
so-
from just where we're sitting or where we're looking at.
Exactly. So it's important. That's why I always talk about us cultivating what I call concentric reasoning. The ability to see things from
Different
angles,
perspective,
as many angles as
Yeah.
possible to
Yeah.
get the full picture.
Yeah.
Because when you have that linear thinking, that one-track mind, as they call it, you limit yourself beyond description.
Yeah.
You know, and you limit the possibilities that are available to you, the opportunities that you can see and perceive.
Yeah.
You know, we gotta look from things at every possible vantage point.
Yeah.
You know, by developing an abundance mindset, we'll be able to see the abundance around us. If we dwell with a scarcity mindset, all we see is limitation.
Yes.
Nothing but limitation.
Yes.
You know, we've got to teach ourselves to see with new eyes.
Definitely.
Ralph Waldo Emerson, you mentioned him earlier. Yeah, he said, write upon your heart that each new day is the best day of the year. If we go about just with that thought alone, today is the best day this year. You know, at the start of the day, you meditate on that. You change your whole outlook. You enable yourself to look at the world, the day ahead of you, with new eyes. You spot opportunities easier. You know, you see opportunities even where others are seeing nothing but problems and doom and gloom. Now, instead of being ashamed of our past, you know, or being alarmed about the prospects of the future, we've got to always remember to build upon the opportunity of the present. I always say, I've been saying this for years, the grass is not greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it.
True.
Yeah.
True.
You know, people thinking, oh, if only I can move from my current town or city or country to another one, then everything would be okay. It doesn't work that way, because in the same place you are in, someone's becoming a millionaire, someone's becoming a billionaire.
Yeah.
You know, I was based in the city of Aba for a long time, and I was born there as well. And Aba is a powerhouse. Forget about how it looks on the outside. Thanks to the problem of, you know, lack of visionary leadership, you know, from the top. A lot of the infrastructure in the city and the town is not what it should be. It's a mess, you know, for lack of a better expression. But that notwithstanding, billions are being made in Aba every blessed day, despite the challenges, despite the lack of infrastructure, despite everything that should normally be there if the leaders were visionaries. And still that money's being made there. people brave all those challenges
Yeah.
and make, powerful brands.
Yeah.
But the average person there might say, things happening here. If I can move to Lagos or Abuja or go abroad.
I just thought of something.
Yeah.
The similarity with Abbas you're seeing and China.
Oh.
It's just a matter of leadership.
Yes. Yes. That's really what it is. We've got to see with new eyes.
We have to.
In everything, they talk about a diamond in the rough.
Yeah.
If you don't gold, how is gold gotten? It's just little nuggets embedded in rock. You've got to put that rock through the fire.
These are just ways nature used to teach us about life.
Yeah.
Every precious thing has to go through process. It has to go through process. We can't have it easy. We can't just... performers, they don't even like the word easy. What they want is it going to count? Is it something we want to do? And they do it. And every day, the challenges, no matter how exhausted they are, when they come back, they feel fulfilled.
Exactly. That's the key.
Because they have gone after something important.
Yes.
But where we're looking for the easy yellow brick road. The 10 steps to prosperity.
Shortcuts.
The shortcuts,
Quick fix.
It can't work. Even the Christ said, follow the narrow gate. And I've always said it that when you're looking for steps, you all understand that you have shifted to a managerial position.
Yep.
It's not a leadership position. Yep. Leadership is messy.
Yeah.
Management has all sorts of... And I'm not saying that management is important.
It has its own place.
Because where we see what we want to do, management is the discipline of
actually
working it,
getting it there day to day.
But the ability to move through, to keep forging ahead to the future.
The trailblazing.
It's leadership and it's messy.
Yes.
You fold your hands.
You're treading the uncharted territory, the unbeaten path.
Yeah, that's leadership.
Yeah.
But where you are trying to replicate clearly, you just want to do what the other. That's not leadership. Yeah. Because first of all, leadership is integrity, and I say it that integrity is what I think it was Aristotle said, know thyself. Yeah. And you know that in knowing yourself, you are different from everybody.
Yes.
So, even if I choose to go into, say, music, for instance, my uniqueness is going to bring a
different flavor
to music. I can't look at somebody and say, I want to replicate exactly. I can look at somebody and he inspires me. I like this. I like that. I like that. And I see the synergy, or I see the cocktail of this gives me what I want, my own unique thing. Yeah. That's me knowing myself. The problem most times is, like you said in the other videos and in your videos I have watched, we do not go inside. We are constantly outside.
Outwardly project.
Yeah, because abundance is from inside. It's from inside. It's inspiration. It's inspiration that creates the future. Yeah. It's just like Einstein said that there's intuition and there's the rational mind. The intuition is a gift. But man has put away the gift and has put the rational mind on the pedestal. Rational mind has its place. Being able to, an architect, being able to construct. Yeah. But the dream of what to construct and why to construct it is the intuitive mind.
Correct.
It's the one that is seeing what can be. When it has seen what can be, thought of what can be, pictured what can be, then the rational mind, who is supposed to be a servant, comes into play to construct it. And then that's where the manager's role is, the technician, the manager, the daily task of ensuring that you use what you have to the best. Yeah. And that's why I say once resources are limited, that's a management rule.
Yes.
So scarcity in itself is not that it is wrong, but it's that as human beings, what leads our life is an abundance mindset.
Yes.
That's what should lead our lives. You know, they say you can't be in growth and fear at the same time.
No.
Once you are constantly in fear, you can't think of evolution.
You can't progress.
You're always looking for what's the next best thing to keep me afloat. There is its place. But when you stretch your head out and you can finally see, you have to go. You can't keep on staying in that place of what's the next best.
Yeah.
So, like you said, it's important to be able to see into the future, to be able to explore, to be able to grow. How do you grow without an abundance mindset?
Not feasible.
It's not feasible.
I mean, a wise person. Here's an important distinction that I arrived at between the abundance mindset and a scarcity mindset. An abundance mindset, or a person with an abundance mindset, does not seek security.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
He seeks opportunity.
Yeah. So this is
right, and it goes further. The fearful person, on the other hand, who has a scarcity mindset, seeks security instead of opportunity.
Yeah. Safety
Ignorant
net.
of the fact that the
It's an
only
illusion.
security in life is inner security.
Yeah, that's it.
And how do you get inner security? It comes from courage. It comes from experience. It comes from the ability and the willingness to learn, to grow,
to develop
and
yourself.
to attempt the unknown.
Key. Very important. Very important.
If you're not willing to get out of the comfort zone, as they say,
to go to your edge.
to go to the edge.
Yeah.
I was listening to Earl Nightingale on the way here.
Okay.
In the car, and he was saying about that saying that look before you leap, and he said that is the worst advice you can ever give anybody. Look before you leap. And why did he say that? He said, it may be good advice for divers or swimmers. You gotta look and make sure that there's no rocks there. But for someone on the journey of life, you can't tell them to look before you leap, because you can't see, so to speak, into the future. You've actually got to leap.
Okay.
It's only when you take that step towards something that you at least believe in or have envisioned for yourself.
Okay.
Then you take that step. You go the distance. You tread the unbeaten path.
And you learn from it.
And you learn from the experience. From that experience, you garner wisdom. You grow.
Yeah.
And you just get better and stronger. So, I mean, all problems, we talk about problems, all problems become smaller when we don't dodge them, rather confront them.
Problems are important. They're necessary for our growth.
Exactly.
They're necessary. The issue is when you face a problem. It's life telling you, as you face this problem, to evolve past the problem, you have to grow.
Yeah.
To make that problem small. And I said in the last video, what I call a problem might not be a problem to you, because you have evolved past what that thing that looks like a problem is. That's why, very important, Einstein said that we can't solve a problem with the same mindset that created the problem. So it's a growth thing. We have to keep growing.
That's right. That's right.
And I think, I don't know whether it was in the discussion or before the discussion, where you were talking about gratitude and all that.
Yeah.
And sometimes we take this thing as one mumbo jumbo, new age, what thing. But what I've learned is, what has really helped me to aspire is understanding gratitude, and practicing gratitude. Because there's something about appreciating what you have, what is the life you're given.
Yes.
I mean, the expression that you are in existence.
Yes.
And all the little things which you take for granted. it makes your mind start cultivating the mindset of more, of endless possibilities.
Yes.
And that's why I always, when I work with people, when a client is going into that mental struggle, the anxiety and depression and that place, we start from a journey of gratitude.
Yeah.
To help the person, to help the mindset start changing how it is seeing things. Because whatever it is can be evolved past.
Definitely.
But it's just that you are beaming your light on the wrong thing. The reality is that, okay, it might be that you have an issue, but it's different. Somebody comes and look at it and say, man, thank God for today. So I get to go and deal with this thing. But thank God I slept and woke up to even face today.
Correct.
But another person wakes up and start thinking about all the bad things about life just because of a problem that was not even up to what the other person was facing.
Right.
And the more you face challenges, the more you grow to face bigger challenges.
That's right.
We all face challenges, no matter whether you're in the slum or whether you're Jeff Bezos. Life has asked, what is the level of challenge you want to face? So do you want to face the little challenge, or you want to face? So you choose your fight. You choose, but that aspect of having that abundant mindset, to start it has to come from gratitude. I'm not talking of gratitude of eye service. No, I'm talking of
real gratitude.
George, understanding that as we're here breathing, it's a gift.
It is.
God, if I put you into water and press your head inside there, I mean, there are people, okay, the pandemic, we watched a whole lot of people that were struggling to
breathe.
They had to use oxygen and all that. So there are little things to be grateful about.
Yeah.
And that perspective just keeps you fired up to keep going.
That's right.
So it's an important thing.
Yeah, I'm really glad that we delved into this because, we face a challenge in our country and in our communities and in our families as well. It's the same problem, and we've really dissected it at length. The scarcity mindset, and it requires that each of us look ourselves in the mirror. It requires that we take an analytical look at how we live, how we respond to things, how we respond to the success of others around us. Because let me read something real quick that I stumbled across a few days ago. It was an excerpt from a book titled "The Problem with Africa."
Okay.
And the author's name, if I'm not mistaken, is I can't remember what his name was. Some Caldersi or so. But just a disclaimer: it might come off as a kind of a generalization because not everyone, not every African portrays these characteristics that are described. But it sheds some important light on the problem that I think we need to deal with on an individual level. And what does it say? It says, in a story, an African man was given the opportunity to ask for anything he wants. The condition was that whatever he gets, his brother would receive double. He thought about asking for a house, but he did not like the thought of his brother having two houses. So he thought about asking for $1 million to go to his bank account. But then he wasn't unhappy with the thought of his brother having $2 million in his account. The man sat down and thought hard, what can I have and still be better than my brother when he has double of it? So he thought of having one of his eyes removed so that his brother could have both of his eyes gouged out. Now, this is a profound depiction, of the mindset of some, not all, but some people wherever we see that scarcity mindset
Yeah,
manifesting,
yeah.
you know,
It's not just an African thing.
it's a worldwide
yeah,
thing. It's not limited to Africa.
Yeah.
But the author made it appear
Yeah,
that
he may
way.
be trying to. Maybe he was writing, and
Yeah.
I get.
So this sounds like a very unlikely story. However, this is a typical mentality that has set a lot of our people back
Yeah,
for ages.
yeah,
An African, or not just an African, people that possess this kind of mindset, they want to be better than their neighbor at all costs. You know, here we see situations where you have prominent people in your community or in your village, and they would happily throw a lavish party. You can eat whatever you like, you can drink whatever you like, but when it comes to sharing knowledge or wisdom that would benefit the next person, you know, it's kind of like, the expression, show me how to fish, don't give me fish. They wouldn't do that.
yeah.
You know, they want to be the only tree in the forest. That mentality, that scarcity thing is like, if I'm the only billionaire in my community, and if there are 10 other billionaires, then I'm
Makes
not
me
the
relevant.
only one who they're hearing about. You know, that kind of thing. It's like you want to be the only one whose name is on the airwaves.
Yeah.
And so everything just remains stagnant. It's anti-life. It's anti-love.
It's anti-love. It's not love.
It's not love.
It's not
I mean,
love.
It's
Love is
like I said at the beginning.
The
abundance mindset is the mother of love.
Yeah.
If you don't have an abundance mindset,
there's no love.
There's no love in you.
That's it. You see it affect from family and everything, you know. And just to wrap up, you know, with this, you know, looking at our various in our society, I'll say one of the things I like to do is to celebrate unique success. I probably don't pay attention to the whole copycats and all that. There are a lot of things. But when I see somebody doing something unique, I try to celebrate it.
Yes.
I promote it.
Yes.
Without the person even paying me or even knowing.
Exactly.
I will promote it.
I do same.
I am of that mindset, and this might be, I don't want you to promote. If you feel that what I am doing is not valuable enough, I'd rather you not promote it.
Sure.
I'd rather you not promote it. There are people who want you to promote anything they do.
That they do.
I don't. I promote what I feel
is a value.
is a valuable thing.
Yes.
That's my own integrity to myself.
Correct.
If anybody feels that, okay, the work I'm doing is important, feel free. If you feel it's not, what am I saying is, it's a challenge to know that for us as a society to grow, we have to think uniquely and authentically.
Exactly.
You know, there's a lady, you know, she's in a mastermind I run, and she has created a platform for people to be able to learn different languages. I'm thinking of learning Hausa at some point.
Okay.
When she came in, you know, trying to get to know her when we shared, and she talked about, I just met her there for the first time, and she talked about, I found it very unique.
Right.
Because it's something that is not available, and I know the importance of language.
Yeah.
Being able to. On my own, I told her, not because of it, she had already paid for the master. So I told her, please, can I have your flyers? I find this thing unique. And I started promoting it. So what am I saying? I'm saying that we should dig deep.
Yes.
To bring out, we have to start thinking, going deeper. To bring unique things into existence.
Right.
To really believe this abundance mindset.
Yes.
And trust me, when you have something unique, it's not about whether George, my friend, promoted it or not. Anything good,
will sell itself.
Whether you like Jeff Bezos or not, Amazon will thrive. Why? He brought out something unique. You can hate him, but you can't do away with the Amazon. You love the, you know. I can curse him and say, Jeff, you just take it all. But then he's giving value. You're able to get
benefiting.
He disrupted that industry.
That's right.
That's the thing. No matter how you hate Bill Gates, would I have this screen without the sacrifice that dude.
he made.
You know, when I see people insulting, I'm like, you didn't for over 10 years without vacation, without anything.
Yeah.
He kept on walking on.
Yeah.
Now, whether you hate him or not because he's a billionaire, whatever it is, it doesn't take away the fact that what he has produced is a necessity.
Yeah.
So when we
meeting
think
a
that
need.
way,
Look at Facebook.
take your.
We most of us would
how do
never
we connect?
reconnect.
Do you understand? So the point I'm trying to make is to take the ego out of the picture.
Yes.
And bring value on the table.
On the table.
Think of the value. Nobody cares about anybody, but it's about what we bring to the table.
Yes.
That's the abundance mindset.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about trying to project yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's about to push the value out there. And everybody will want to push the value. And the more, it's almost like a microcosm. Each value affects each value.
Yes.
You look at Google, you use Microsoft to open Google, and you use Google to browse to get to Amazon. I mean, so somehow value interrelate with each other.
Correct.
And when we understand that, we support each other. You know, so it's I felt it's something important that especially America they were built by innovators. We have to have that mindset here. So
Correct.
I will end with that it's time we start thinking inwards.
That's right.
And think of bringing out value.
Excellent. Yeah. So this has been a most enlightening and revealing discussion.
Yeah.
The subject of the abundance mindset versus the scarcity mindset. And I want to discuss a little illustration here.
Okay.
For the benefit of you all who are watching, and regardless of the strata of society where you find yourself, I want us to take this away from this discussion. And what is that? Say, for instance, we always talk about the pie, or the national pie, so to speak. If we want a bigger share of the pie, say, for instance, there's 10 of us, and a pie is baked, it's sitting on the table, and each of us is to get 10% of that pie.
Okay.
Right? A person with a scarcity mindset, in his or her mind, they would feel that in order for them to get a larger share of that pie, they would have to either eliminate some or all of the other people who were to share that pie with them, or they would have to go about through whatever schemes to increase their percentage at the detriment or disadvantage of the other people there to share that same pie with. That's a scarcity mindset in operation. You're always thinking that, this pie is this size. Maybe, for instance, in monetary terms, it's $1 billion. And you're thinking, this $1 billion, if 100 million is not enough for me, I gotta get rid of everybody else so I can have the whole thing myself. Why not think in the other direction? What's the other direction? The abundance mindset would rather think of a way to increase the size of the pie itself.
Okay.
Because by doing that, everyone's share automatically increases.
That's the idea of a corporation.
Exactly. Because if that pie is worth $1 billion, as I said before, and you increase it, say, 10 times, automatically your 10% is no longer $100 million. Your 10% is now $1 billion. So you still achieved your aim without putting anyone else at a disadvantage. This is a win-win situation.
I like this.
Yeah.
I like this.
I mean, it's something that we really have to begin to think to ourselves. Stop limiting your scope, your vision, stop restricting your ability to create solutions, your ability to provide value to everyone that you interact with in life. This is really key for us to progress as individuals, for us to progress in our families, you know, in our communities, and in the country as a whole. I mean,
And the world.
And the world. You know, they say live and let live.
Live and let live.
As we say.
Live and let live.
Biri kan biri.
Yeah.
Ndi-GBO.
Yeah.
You know, live and let live. It's the ultimate expression of love.
Yeah.
You don't see. Okay, come on. Let's think. You know, straight for once. We are over 7 to 8 billion people on this planet.
Okay.
And people are being born every blessed day.
Every minute.
Every minute.
And people are dying.
People are dying as well. But the population is still increasing proportionally. Now, the question I want to throw to you is, has this reduced in any way the amount of oxygen that you inhale?
Yeah.
See what I'm getting?
Yeah.
The abundance is there. There's no shortage of resources with which to sustain life, with which to enjoy life, with which to reach for whatever height that we want to push ourselves to reach. And we can reach those heights without putting anyone else beside us at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
That's the key here. That's the key takeaway.
Find the win-win.
Find the win-win. There is always a win-win. There's always a win-win. Never tell yourself the opposite. Don't let anybody convince you that you can't have it all and your neighbor also have it all. That's the key thing here.
And be a win-win.
Yeah.
It's only maybe, for instance, in a sport where you're playing a sport and all that. Okay, somebody, that's a game.
That's a game.
That's a game.
That's a game. But as far as life is concerned,
yes. That we can create even more and enjoy more than trying to take what is available so that the other person doesn't have anything. Yeah. So that's an important perspective to look at things.
Yeah.
I mean, the billionaires they say when pandemic recession is going on and everything, and they say, for us, Elon has moved from 24 billion to 74 billion. Okay, so what's going on?
So what's going on? The abundance is there.
They're not really concerned about this thing. You know, I saw what he sent to Forbes, where he said he doesn't really give a damn about these numbers that goes up.
It's just numbers.
He's concerned about making valuable products that people like.
Yes.
That's what he's more concerned about.
It's just like I was saying earlier. Stop fretting about the bank balance of your neighbor or your wife or your husband.
You just really have to concern about producing.
The value you're creating.
You said that thing very important, I think, before the talk, where you said, if you can't look inwards to find your turf, your ground, your platform, your uniqueness, if you don't spend the time to find that, you struggle with the scarcity mindset because you're always looking for where to grab. But when you find your place, you know that you can take it to any level you want to. So you are happy to be in the party with every successful people.
You're not intimidated.
You're not intimidated because you know your place.
Yes.
And you have your place. But the problem is, like we said, it takes time to discover, to find these things. And if you don't take the time,
invest that time.
Time
is the currency.
Yeah, that's all we have.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't just sit down and say, "Oh, where's my turf?" And boom, it hits you in the head. Here's your turf. It's from doing things, exploring, thinking. You finally find where your uniqueness is.
Yeah.
You understand? I tried a whole lot of things to really find out, okay, this is my place.
Yeah.
Started from finance. You know, while inside there, I went into IT. You know,
You're searching.
I was searching.
You're seeking.
I was seeking.
And let me break something down to you. Look at that word seek. S-E-E-K.
Yeah.
What do you got there? Seek. When you seek, you will see.
Yes, you will see. You will see.
If you don't seek for what makes you tick in life,
you won't find it now.
You'll continue looking but not see. The more you look, the less you see.
Because, see, just like you said, if you don't seek, you won't see. It means that you can only find what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Because when you are not seeking, great things will be around you, passing around you.
You will not see them.
But you won't see them because you're not. And somebody else will be in your position and explore them to the highest, to the fullest. So I think it's important that we have to understand that we have to dig deep. You know, I know some people who say things like, there's nothing like that, just look for what will make profit. I agree. But profit comes from value.
Exactly.
And to create value, you have to find your strength, introspection. Because I just wake up and say, oh, it's farming, that's the next best thing, and I go there. And it's not my thing. I'm seeing another person sailing through that whole adventure, enjoying it, but I'm struggling with it.
That's right.
Meanwhile, something else is drawing my interest somewhere. If I find my place, if Oprah didn't find her place, if Gates didn't find his place, if Two-Face Idibia didn't find his place, if Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo didn't find their place, that's why when people ridicule the statement, what Jobs said, which is like one of the most important speech, when they ridicule what he said, where he says, do what you love. He said, and don't settle. Look for it.
Look for it.
Like all matters of the heart, you will know when you find it.
Yes.
Because to live a full life, you have to find what you love.
Correct.
You have to do great work. And to do great work, it has to be something you love. So if you find something you're mediocre at, it doesn't interest you.
It doesn't get your fire, burning.
You just go down the security path, which is the scarcity mindset. So while we might think it is a mumbo jumbo thing, let's look out in the world.
Yeah.
And I always say this to people: if something has been validated, the fact that you have not found it does not mean it is wrong. So if we say that there is something called passion, and you say, oh, I have not found my passion, and somebody else is telling you there is no such thing as passion, but you're seeing people playing on their passion. Its integrity says that you tell yourself, okay, it's just that I have not found it, not that there is no such thing or it doesn't work for. No.
The same recording I was listening to earlier, Earl Nightingale, he told a story of a lady who had been through a heartbreak,
Yeah.
We see it often, and she told her mother that she was never going to get into a relationship again with men. She was done with men, and, falling in love was just going to lead to hurt. And the mother's reply was, if you don't fall in love, you don't live.
Okay.
I mean,
but it's it's a choice some people make.
Yeah.
When, for instance, when people look at so much of failed marriages, failed relationships, they just feel there's no such thing as. You are making a choice.
Yeah, it's a choice.
You're making a choice.
The decision to do nothing is a choice.
Yes, it's a choice you're making. You're telling your mind that there is no such thing as a worthy relationship with another person because you saw super person.
Somebody.
So how about the person who is succeeding?
Who's actually succeeding?
Why not look? And it's just one of the things that affects especially the young, as you go into relationship. There are many dynamics to it, but I'll take this one.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. And you conclude with that. That relationships are this is not something, and you now stifle yourself from going because this person hurt you. You trusted the person,
or decide to go down a self-destructive path.
Instead of looking at it as an opportunity to learn, to be wiser, that means that if you go into another one, a better you is going into another one.
Exactly, a better you.
A better you is going. So, but
not a wounded or traumatized.
Yeah. Life is. You have had 1, 2 relationships. How you look at yourself in them will affect the third one.
Yes.
When you decide to settle in one, you are. I'm not saying that it's all case that you have to try different relationships, but I mean, it's in relating with different people, you learn more about yourself and what is ideal. You start understanding that, okay, Jane is wired this way. Okay, Sarah is wired this
That
way.
way.
Okay, so I need to start paying attention to how, say, Sophia is wired, kind of. You understand? Not coming to say you start with J, and because you did it and she was this way, you just assume that this is how
That's how all ladies are.
no. So that ability to understand that it's only an abundance mindset that thinks of evolving about the next. It can be better, you know. So I'm of the opinion that in the society we must be very, very concerned about what we buy as truth.
Yes.
Because what you buy as truth is ruling your life.
Correct.
If you believe that relationships don't work,
You never have a
life has to give you every single reason why it doesn't work.
Yes.
Because you have created a
That's
philosophy.
the energy you project.
That's
into
the
life.
thing, yeah.
It's
But if you
natural.
believe that it works, life would give you reasons to see. It might be hard, but it will give you reasons, and you will fight to find those reasons.
Yes.
And it will work. So
Yeah.
these are practical things. It's not. It's things that you have to practically experience them to really know that yes, they are there.
Yes, that's correct. And wow, I think on this note,
Yeah.
we can really say we've dissected and delved into the matter of abundance mindset and
Yeah,
scarcity
to an extent, I
mindset.
think we have.
You know, it's still there's so much.
There's so much. I mean, there's so much
That can be uncovered.
There's so much. There's
I mean,
so much.
just like the topic of leadership, it's so vast.
It's these things are so huge.
Yeah, I truly appreciate your time, Victor, and
Yeah, thanks.
I
Thanks.
appreciate
I enjoyed myself.
each and every one of you for devoting the time to be with us to the end of this video. It's really great and inspiring to be able to grow together.
Yeah.
Because when we interact this way, when we rub
We
minds,
learn.
we learn.
I've learned a lot from,
Oh, yeah.
from this discussion.
We learn so much that adds value to our lives.
Yeah.
So keep sharing, let's keep the discussion going. Share your thoughts in the comments section. And don't forget to subscribe. Share this video with your friends, your family, your associates, because we really need to encourage an abundance mindset in our families, in our companies, in our places of work, wherever we find ourselves
everywhere.
in society. Because without that, we're not evolving. Without that, we're not growing.
We'll self-destruct.
Self-destruct.
That's what the opposite is.
You know, when you contract, you're not growing. We've got to expand, and the only way to expand is to cultivate.
Yeah, because life is about growth. That's the principle of life.
Yeah.
Any other thing is self-destruction.
Correct. So thank you, Victor. Much appreciated, my
A
brother.
pleasure.
Absolutely.
Enjoyed myself.
I had fun. Yeah. So my friend Victor, like I mentioned at the start, he is a high performance and life coach, life strategist. You find a link to his website in the description. And once again, this has been the second episode of the GBOriginal Griot, a web series presented by GBOriginal creators, which delves into issues and prefers solutions to the challenges that we face as individuals, as families, as communities, as nations, as humanity as a whole. So thank you for joining us today. I am your host, Prince Obioha Ezagundibo. Udo Nda Eleovo.
I love hearing you speak.
Oganihu. Dira Nine Sinubo Arumbe Biebi. You say, what I said was, for those of you who don't hear, is peace, life, oneness, and progress be unto all of us from now and to all time.
Amen.
Cheers, people. Yeah, man. Great one.
Nice one.
Absolutely.
Nice one.